Good morning, forum. I'm surprisingly back with another video. My last upload was yesterday. As said, I have a bit more free time now. Not much left, but still a little bit more since I started a new job. And I figured out I'll do a video on a gun that was already featured on my channel, but that has a special place in my heart, which would be the Sig553. Why does it have a special place in my heart? Well, it's simple. As a Swiss citizen, I was in the military and I was issued a 550, which here is called Sturmgewehr 90, assault rifle 90. It was officially adopted in 1990, I guess. The 553, unfortunately, I did not have some trigger time with it in the military. So I bought it second-hand, privately. It was brand new when I bought it, actually. The 553 is actually used in the military under designation Assault Rifle 07. Yeah, they recognized the value of SBR a bit later. But even if I had some trigger time with it, I probably would not have it here because the Assault Rifle 07, the Sig553, is not referred as personal material like the Sig550. Personal material is the gear that you are issued at the beginning of boot camp. You carry with you throughout all of your military days, and until you're done with your days, that is, that you don't have to go back any longer, you store it in your cellar or at home. Now, what is personal material and what is just general material that you're issued? The personal material is like the assault rifle, one magazine, your sort of load-bearing equipment, the BDU, this stuff, like stuff that you would need in an emergency situation to just get your ass from your home to the mobilization in case of war. So, out of all the stuff that you're issued during service, I would say personal equipment is about 50–60%. The remaining stuff, which depends on your function, is issued whenever you are in active service, so not in normal civilian life. The Sig553 belongs to the latter part, so if your duty, like Special Forces, requires you to have one, you are issued one when you arrive in service, but when you go back home, you just carry with you the good old full-size version, the Sturmgewehr 90. So, unfortunately, getting your hands on a real deal Sig553 would imply buying it as a machine gun, if you want to have the full auto version, or as a semi-auto like I did, as a normal civilian semi-auto gun. I eventually bought one, and I would buy it any day. Many people ask, well, how is the 553? Is it really worth the astonishing amount of money? As usual, the answer is that depends, but a bit more towards yes. The Sig553, in my honest opinion, is really one of the most fantastic and outstanding guns in 223 that you can own. On a value for money, it scores quite high, honestly, because this thing is sturdy as fuck. Okay? You know, on AR-15s, especially on SBRs, you hear things like, oh yeah, the extended pressure will just wear out parts here and there. On guns like this, honestly, I never hear anyone saying that something breaks. I don't know if it's because it was not used or abused, but knowing this platform inside out, knowing how it works, I can definitely, from a theoretical perspective, understand how really this gun will outlast many other SBRs for that, that work differently and that cost significantly less for that reason or one other. Direct competitors of this gun in the lineup that I have would probably be the MR223. That one is also really, the finish on that one is outstanding. But that one is an AR-15, so it has normal AR-15 drawbacks. That if we're talking SBRs, the first would be the size. With the stock folded, this gun is not really bigger than 2 cans of beer, one on top of the other. So, talking about a package, maybe with a 20 round mag, this gun here is really fits in a rucksack. It's fantastic, and it doesn't come at any significant drawback in terms of functionality. The stock, out of all the guns that I have with a folding stock, this one probably feels even more solid than some guns with a fixed stock. If you think about the AR-15s, the receiver extension, or whatever it's called, the buffer tube, so to speak, if it's not done correctly, dude, it may even fall apart. I have seen that. People who do it sort of on a do-it-yourself basis, if you don't screw the stuff correctly, it can break, it can fail. You constantly have issues with what barrel length do I have? Is it the right spring? Is it the right weight? Am I running suppressed? Full auto? Is it too fast? Is it not too fast? With this gun, you don't have any of this. With this gun, what you get out of the box will probably be what you have under any circumstances until this gun dies after I don't know how many thousands of rounds. Suppressed, not suppressed, stock, folding stock, who cares? Back then, when Switzerland was still investing the right amount of money into its own gear for the military, this guy receives so much R&D investment directly from the government that you can really tell that even after so many years, it's still really modern and on par with almost any other gun that you have there. Think about what you see today on most battlefields. So the AR-15 came out as black, in black color. Now everyone is painting their gun according to what scenario they're in. This gun, out of the box, comes green furniture and this special coating, gray, which blends perfectly in the environment that it was supposed to work with. That would be sort of, Switzerland, where we don't have deserts, but we have a lot of countryside. So for what concerns the color, nothing to be done. Now then, it has all of the feature that you would expect on a modern rifle. It has a bolt hold open on the last shot, ambidextrous controls, really ergonomic. The trigger out of the box, even though some AR-15 folks don't like it, I still think that it's the best mil-spec trigger that I ever tried. This trigger is sort of a two-stage. I compare it to a two-stage trigger, and you can use it for competition shooting as well as target shooting or small tactical applications. Like it was pointed out in some other videos, I do not have the best trigger discipline or trigger control as some other Spec Ops dudes. But I don't give a shit, okay? I have to go shoot with my Sig553 every year, and I score consistently well. It has a perfect trigger. If you take your time, this one out of the box, bought from the military, maybe misused for a good price, and will still perform flawlessly. The functionality, it's a piston gun, so you don't have any of the sort of annoying cleaning, especially in this side, the receiver part, like you would have on an AR-15, especially on SBR. You do have to clean it though. It's not like the gas magically disappears, but you have to clean it in a different way, okay? And it's always the same. You clean the gas valve a little bit on the inside, you clean the gas piston, the gas piston tube, so to speak, and that's it. The remaining internals of the gun are virtually not affected. As a matter of fact, when I was in the military, we used to do, when you clean the gun, of course you have to wipe it and make it look nice, but you never really have to take the ball carrier apart in its minor parts and clean that, because virtually it stays as it is, like almost brand new. There's no gas coming here, just a little bit of brass when you shoot. At the end of service, when you have to do the big cleaning at the end of boot camp, which is once, in my experience it was just once, then you need to clean also some other parts like the stock, etc. But during the whole boot camp, virtually the only part we were cleaning was the front part that is affected by gas, the barrel, and just wipe clean the ball carrier group, and that's it. Everything else really stays clean, unless you dump your rifle in the water or in the mud, which should not be the case in Switzerland, as we don't have any jungle or any of these situations. The only drawback to this gun is, to some degree, is the fact that maybe with time, it was not conceived as being as modular as modern AR-15s. So if you're talking Picatinny rails, out of the box, normally comes with diopter, flat top, normal handguard in plastic, and that's it. I have the one with the Picatinny rail, which is molded on top, so it doesn't have any move at all. You cannot take it off. Fantastic. Yeah, the emergency iron sights are a bit shit. I don't know if you can tell. But honestly, if you take them for what they are, that is emergency backup iron sights, you know, 30 meters, you can do some damage beyond that. If you bought the Picatinny rail version, I assume that you have some sort of optics on top, otherwise you're a bit retarded. Do not expect to hit something with this at 100 meters without some luck. At least this is my experience, maybe I'm just retarded. The stock is not adjustable, but I honestly never had an issue with it. It seems to be reasonably sized for a reasonably sized person. If you're a midget or if you're, I don't know, Yao Ming, 2 meters high, then maybe, yeah, maybe you could have some issues. But military is all about standards, average and average statistics, and therefore I cannot really, you know, the complaint department is sort of not really relevant in this case. Is this better than I don't know, European alternatives? So is this better than an MR223? No, I mean, depends what you're looking for. If you're really a fan of the AR-15 manipulation and you grew up with that, then you're probably better served with that, because muscle memory will take you straight to your goal with a gun that is of exceptional quality. If you grew up with SIG manipulations, that is more of an AK style manipulation setup, then you're really well served with a SIG platform. You could have this in 14.5 inch, a Sig551, which I also owned, but I sold it. If you're really a fan of a bit longer shooting and maybe traditional shooting, you can have the full size version, the 550. Or if you're tactical like me, or if you have money to waste, you can buy all of them. There's no real reason why you should not own all of them, except financial ones. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that people in America cannot really enjoy this for financial reason, compliance reason, or import restriction reason. It's not export restriction, it's import restriction. The United States is very protective for what concerns assault rifles, and given that financially most people would not really be able to afford this over, I don't know, $1,000 AR-15, a company like Swiss Arms with limited resources probably has less of an incentive of going through all the hassle of getting those in the hands of the masses in the States. It's not possible. This gun costs a lot. It's produced in a country which has high manufacturing costs. Switzerland is not a mass manufacturing country like China. We do high value added stuff mostly, and this is definitely a piece of kit that, you know, you can easily use it on the battlefield or put it on the wall. It will look awesome on the wall. It has history, it has tradition, it stands for Swiss precision. But every now and then you see this in some really strange situations used by some sort of mercenaries or private security. So yeah, I can imagine this gun doesn't make the big headlines like the HK416, which took down Bin Laden, but I can imagine that this gun definitely performs in some of the more shady situations. Yeah, I'm not having any footage of this gun in action, since actually I'm a bit retarded with video editing and YouTube removed the functionality of merging videos. So I'm gonna just do videos taken all in one take. And that's it. I may do some better footage at the range with some of the guns to show you actually how this works on a range. Maybe with some slow-mo would be cool, but do not expect that anytime soon. So, final question. Should you buy a Sig553? Definitely yes. Under what circumstances? Well, if you're a hedge fund manager, some banking guy, so if you can afford it, go for it. Otherwise, maybe it will be a bit stretched, because for what it does, which is deliver 223, if you don't have the money, you're better off buying a normal AR-15 and some ammo. If you really like collection guns, if you like European guns, this gun got you covered. It's going to be a great gun to have in your collection. If I could afford only one, I would probably take this, but take into consideration that I have some military experience with it. Maybe it's not the case with you. If you have any other question to Swiss guns or Swiss gun laws, feel free to post. I may post some other videos in the future before I start working. Otherwise, I'm gonna go a bit into radio silence and be with you when I get the new MR223, which is in the pipeline. Hopefully will arrive in 2017, maybe in 2018. Until then, thanks a lot for watching and have a nice day.